computer, not to the cloud. Okay. All righty. Welcome, everybody, to our Tuesday night Collaborating Connections professional networking call. My name is Dawn Evans Casey, and I'm the leader of Collaborating Connections. We've been around for about 5.5 years, and we are part of the TTR networking family. TTR networking actually stands for To the Rescue, and RESCUE is an acronym for those key points that our organization supports and believes in. The R is for relationships. The E is for education. The S is for success strategies. The C is for community. The U for understanding. And the second E is for execution. For all we talk about, all we learn, say, and do, it would not mean anything unless we put it to action. So glad to have you all here tonight to talk. We actually had a really robust conversation prior to starting the recording, and is really getting us off to a good start for this third week of March. And our March theme is masterminding. So our discussion following our introductions and so forth will be focused in that area. I would like to take the opportunity to invite Jennifer Johnson to give us some updates that are going on in the TTR networking world. Jennifer?
Okay, Jennifer Johnson. Yes, we have a lot going on. We actually have, let's see, a week from yesterday, which would be the 27th of March. We have a noon. We're calling it our it's our TTR Presents, but it's Keys to Business Success. So we're going to have one of those a quarter. The 27th is the first one, and it's being presented by Linda Lewis with Cash Overlooked, who happens to be one of our members. And she's going to coach us on how to create, well, actually, it's Keys to Business Success, small steps with big results to increase profits. That's what Linda's whole business is helping you make some profit. So how to create processes, procedures, and systems to achieve total and complete business success. So a number of things under that umbrella. So that is Monday, March 27th, and that's at noon Eastern on Zoom. Then next Friday, we have our monthly open networking at the Haverstick, which is a coffee shop on the back of a big church, and it's called the Haverstick, and it's on Haverstick. The address is Haverstick Road. So all of this is on our website as well as our Eventbrite, and we're also on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, and then on the 5th, is it the 5th? It's the 5th of April. We have a I don't know where it's not there. Okay, it is there, but I don't see it anyway. April 5th, and there it is. Okay, and it's at 6 p.m. Eastern on Zoom, and it's what would the lady with the blue hair say? And there's a book out right now called Said the Lady with the Blue Hair, Lisa Wilbur, and it's 7 rules for success in direct sales wrapped in a wonderful life lesson for all sales reps. And Lisa Wilbur's been with Avon. She's number 5 in the company. At this point, I think she's been higher at different times. She's been with them since 1981. She's been working this business, and she knows it inside and out. And she knows how to give you, her success tips. So that's the first weekend, or I'm sorry, the first Wednesday. It's literally just a week away. Is that right? No, wait a minute. I think we still, do we? No, 2 weeks. Sorry. Gosh, that scared me for a minute. Okay. It's 2 weeks away. I mean, life is just passing by. And then on Wednesday, April 19th, which would be our night for our happy hour with TTR networking, that will be, we're still determining. I've got about 7 places I'm supposed to call because I had a lady who knows all the different places. And we're trying to just find every month a place that we can go. We get some food, we order some appetizers and different things. And if you want to have dinner, you can do that. It's a chance to get together and talk and chat and reacquaint and meet some new people. So last week we were down south side of Indy. The month before that, we were up in Carmel. This month, April, we're going to be somewhere on the north side, and we're not sure where. I've had a number of different, like I said, a number of different places suggested, and I did not have a chance today to make any calls. So, but it will be on the 19th of April. So, and then we'll go back down south again if if that works out that way. We're going to see, we're kind of just testing the waters, but so we have a variety. We have things online and we have things in person now that things are opening up and that we're getting to the springtime, which it literally is now springtime, right? So I'm not sure. Does that make all sense? Is that enough? That's a lot.
That's plenty.
But
it just goes to show TTR networking, the emphasis is on bringing benefit to our membership. So in addition to the weekly membership meetings where we have a chance to get together and talk and do introductions and share our business information, there's just so much more to being a part of the group that is tremendous value. And it's learning through TTR Presents, it's giving back via TTR Cares. It is the one-on-one conversations and relationship building with other wonderful professionals. It's attending the social face-to-face gatherings, passing business cards, enjoying ourselves, learning about each other, etc. So there is so much more, as Robert was saying earlier, to networking than just passing business cards between two people. And we encourage everyone to take full advantage of all of the activities and resources that are available through TTR networking. Our referral runway is our membership application, but it also houses lots of details and information about the entire TTR networking membership and contacts that have been populated as well. So I think that everybody should take advantage of becoming familiar with that and utilizing that to reach out to others, build more relationships, and expand our circle of influence and connection. Okay. From here, I heard Robert say that he needed to spin off early, so I want to go ahead and invite Robert to kick off our roundtable of introductions. So Robert, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Yes, that's Miss Johnson, the two.
Oh, yeah.
Johnson, too. Well, yeah, Robert Hailey with Old National Bank. I am a community development loan officer here with focus on low to moderate income folks to help close the gap of housing and wealth between the Black and brown folks. We spend that time there really passionately helping folks to do workshops, do educational, pick them where they are to help them to achieve that goal of housing wealth. I do have dollars to assist, but most importantly, education to help them to understand not just to be a homeowner, but also to retain and maintain themselves in a home so they may thrive and create the wealth that they have for their family. So again, passionate about it, been doing this business over 25 years, wealth and knowledge in that sense, really truly to help them succeed. Any best referral partners, anyone that's looking to be a homeowner or want to know what it takes to be a homeowner. So Again, Robert Hailey, Old National Bank.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Robert Hailey. Do we have any questions for Robert this evening? Okay. Let's move on. Nancy Vesley, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Yep, as long as the phone doesn't ring. Nancy Vesley, I'm with IHC Specialty Benefits, local licensed health insurance agent. I work with people with Medicare, ACA plans, short-term disability, dental, vision, supplemental policies, so that if you have a supplement policy, it pays you. It doesn't pay your doctors, and it gives you money. So if something happens to you, it might help you pay the electric bill that will come in even if you're not working. What else? And now people are getting pulled off of Medicaid. So that's a big thing now. People are getting letters in the mail. So if you know anybody that gets a letter and is asking about health insurance, send them my direction, because I can help explain the situation and what options they have. That's what I got.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nancy. Do we have any questions this evening for Nancy Vesley and IHC Insurance?
Well, Nancy, oh, Robert, did you have, oh, is that you?
That was
John?
me, sorry.
Well, I was just wondering though, you and I talked about it briefly at something, was it last week? Somewhere you said, but people, what's happening is people were put on Medicaid during what?
2020. During 2020, and they did not review where they were financially because they just left everybody on there. So I had a client, he was on Medicaid, and then in December, he told them how much his new job he was making,
Oh,
and he was waiting for them to kick him off, and they never kicked him off. So this is the time they started kicking people off. So based on your income, you might be making too much to be on Medicaid, and then you have to go to the marketplace, and chances are you would have a good subsidy to help pay for your insurance that direction. But they've just started doing that.
okay.
So they expected it to take until May of next year before it's all done.
Okay, so I guess I don't know exactly how, because I worked with a couple people that I think I helped when they were qualifying for Medicaid, but I didn't do much of that. So, but you're saying they could get a subsidy toward the ACA?
Yes.
Or, but
Yes.
don't they, if they're, okay, so I guess this is the question. It's not a big thing. And it's not going to make any difference to anybody else, but if they don't qualify for Medicaid and they're not 65 or older, they would then go to the ACA, right?
Right.
So if they're younger than 65, that's where they would go to ACA. But if they're older, they would go to Medicare, right?
Yes, they could go to, if they are within the time frame to sign up for Medicaid, they could do that. The ones they were telling us today in training were the D-SNP plans.
Okay.
And D-SNPs have Medicaid and Medicare.
Oh, okay.
They could lose their Medicaid.
So basically, somebody listening to this needs to know that they need to talk to you.
Yeah.
If they, I mean, really, I laugh. It's not, I mean, I can't even imagine. For people who are listening, maybe I sold Medicare and I didn't do a lot of Medicaid, but there's so many things. And that was probably 15 years ago, probably something like that. And I know it's changed. So I would just, yeah. I mean, just like you need to talk to a mortgage person like Robert, you need to talk to an insurance person like Nancy. when you're, I mean, that's why we're all here, right? I mean, I don't even put myself in the same boat with you guys, because you guys, people need to be reaching out. I mean, it's confusing, and I was in the insurance industry. I mean, and I actually thought I knew what I was doing. Now that you're saying, I mean, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so complicated. And people who are already on it, now they're moving them off. That's, you almost kind of feel like they should leave them there because it was not their fault, you know, leave them there, let them, but then I guess that screws up the Medicaid or something, right?
Well, that's, the states are trying to save money. So if they knock people off of Medicaid, they could save a lot of money, because there's like 15,000 people through the country they want to kick off. Because they're making too much for Medicaid.
So you need to talk to Nancy, because you have a certain amount of money that you have to be under to even qualify.
Right.
Medicaid. Yeah. Okay. All right. I just, you told me that, and I'm like, it just blows my mind because it's confusing enough.
If you think about what's the minimum minimum hourly rate you're getting paid when you're at those fast food restaurants. You know, chances are, if they were on Medicaid this whole time thinking that they would be able to, those are the ones that are going to get hit, probably, I would think.
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. That's pretty depressing. But that's the other, I'll leave it at that, but that's the other thing too. You need to work with a professional like Nancy, like Dawn has not said what she does yet, but Robert, you know, you need to work with these people, because I know, well, my husband went to a doctor's, an eye appointment, and the doctor was great, but he was going in all these, he was talking in technical language, saying all these words, and we both walked out with a glazed look on our face. Like, we got the picture that Philip he's not kicking the bucket yet, but he is literally got a thing with his eye that needs to fix itself. But that is not what the doctor, he did not. You need to go work with somebody that can explain it on whatever level you need. And in that case, we needed him to come down a little bit, come down to our elementary level. But that's, and that's why you work with somebody like Nancy or Robert or Dawn, who's been in these industries for a while. And, I mean, I just think that's one of the biggest things. You can go work with somebody starts talking and they just don't understand that, we have no idea. I did have a background in insurance. It's still confusing. Sorry, Dawn. I didn't mean to hijack your call.
No, not a problem. I tell you all the time, Jennifer, I welcome your input and your perspective, because if you've got that to contribute, there's surely somebody who needs to hear it, who may be thinking along those same lines and wondering, asking the question, well, why are they getting together and talking to us? What is the importance of this? So
Yeah.
thanks again.
Well, you're welcome. I'm sorry. It's just kind of, I get very pet peeve about
Here
that.
you go, Jennifer Johnson.
Yeah.
Are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much. And I would just say that I think the majority of our members all understand that not everybody understands their lingo and stuff. And I think that is a real gift to be able to bring that down. I loved when Robert said, who do you know that, just might not know? I don't know how you said it, Robert, but I was like, it can be so simple. It doesn't have to, you probably ask a series of questions and then you get, anyway. So thank you, professional people, for being here today. Thank you very much. I am actually the founder of TTR Networking, and I'm a relationship marketing coach. And what the heck does that mean? Well, basically, if you don't know, it takes an average of about 5 to 12 contacts. I said this last week, and I just keep revisiting it. Very few of us ever reach out to a contact more than 3 times. So if they're not, the regular average here is 5 to 12 times. Well, you you're missing a bunch of business if you don't keep in front of them. So anyway, what do? I help you stay top of mind. I help position you to stay top of mind in authentic ways. Being kind of crazy is what I do. But you've got to make yourself memorable. It's got to be something that when that person that that neighbor of your friend, of your referral partner says, I need insurance, they immediately think of you or whatever, because you don't let them you just keep your name in front of them. And there's a lot of ways to do that. One of them is networking. So I am here to make sure that we connect people. Who do you know that's out there that's looking or is struggling? And maybe, I think we had a conversation about this in one of our groups. They don't even know they need a network of people. They may just be sitting there trying to launch their side hustle kind of thing, and they're trying to figure out, where do I start? This is a good place to do that because you've got experienced professionals like Dawn, Robert, Nancy, and the other members of our group that are just, they've been doing this a while, and it's more than just getting business. It's literally, learning and growing and doing things that, that you wouldn't do if you weren't with other people who are sharing their expertise and their experience. So anyway, I am Jennifer Johnson, and I would love to have more people reach out to us because this group's awesome. So let's keep doing it. But anyway, thank you, Dawn, for all you do.
Oh, you are so welcome. Do we have any questions for Jennifer Johnson?
No questions. There are no questions.
How many
Alrighty.
how many times do you have to contact someone? What was the number you just dropped?
The numbers, the average, now there are exceptions to the rules, but I think in insurance, mortgage, travel, I'm sure, generally they say it's somewhere between 5 and 12 contacts before somebody's going to buy. Now, if somebody reaches out to Dawn and wants to go to Hawaii today, or you know what I mean, she's not going to have to reach out to them 12 times. But if they're not necessarily planning it, but they need to get to know you, but her before, it can take an average of 5 to 12 times. And it depends on what your sales cycle is. I don't know how often Robert would say people buy houses now, but didn't it used, or now I've heard numbers like 5 to 7 years, before people buy. So, or, in between buying and moving. And so, yes, there's just so many different things, but it doesn't matter what industry you go out, look on Google and all of those, they all say somewhere between 5 and 12. Does that make sense, Nancy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, not every time. You might get a sale on 1 or 2 contacts, but the general, it doesn't happen that way. So.
But we've talked previously that the value in those touching base, follow-up, reaching out is about building the relationship. It's about letting them know that you are available, that you're knowledgeable, that you're interested. And what you said, Jennifer, staying front of mind. There could be so many times that when the opportunity is there for that individual to make a decision to buy insurance, to buy a home, to buy travel, that they go to a resource on the internet or something that they've recently heard that sticks in their mind. And if your name and your business is in front of mind to them, you've missed that boat and that opportunity because you haven't followed up enough and maintained a strong enough relationship that you are their go-to person. So, again, whether it is send out cards, whether it is picking up the phone or sending that email or whatever people can utilize and feel comfortable with to manage their their clientele, their potentials in a database becomes very important, and why we always say in networking, follow up, follow up, follow up. It's one of those things that you just cannot be lax in and be successful.
Can I say one thing, Nancy, too, with your social media, your stuff that you're doing out there, and you're asking questions, and what was it, tea or coffee the other day? I was like, man, I like this. I mean, it's really, and we all know we get people that say that you should do, you should be in touch with people all the time. But you don't want to always be saying, hey, by the way, I sell insurance. Why not go out there and say tea or coffee, or, or what kind of a vacation would you, I mean, whatever. Or something, I guess, because sometimes you're scrolling through, Facebook, and there pops up Nancy's, and it's all you're not like saying buy insurance from me. So it's not all marketing. It is marketing, but it's building that relationship. So
yeah,
you started doing a lot of really, cool questions like that. I know there's been some other ones, and I'm sure if I look back, I could see them, but I hate coffee. I love tea. So I think
I like the smell of coffee. Do you like the smell of coffee?
Yeah. And my mom used to say, oh, if you like the smell, you're going to end up, you're going to for sure end up drinking it at some point. I hate it. I don't know. And she thought when I went to college, I would start liking it. And no, but it smells good.
Yeah.
But it tastes like crap. But yeah. But anyway, yeah. Dawn, sorry. Did it again.
Thank you, Jennifer.
You're welcome.
Again, my name is Dawn Evans Casey, and my company is Spa Travel. It's a full service travel agency, and we do everything from car rentals, hotel reservations, resorts, cruises, domestic and international airfare, destination rail, just about anything that you can think of that's travel related. And we want to help our clientele have an enjoyable, memorable travel experience. So we go beyond just the planning and the booking, but we want to be available to assist our customers if they have issues, delayed flights, canceled flights, hotel rooms, resort not quite up to the expectation. We work as a intermediary between the vendors and the travel client to make sure that their needs are addressed and met. The travel vendors are happy to work with me because they, of course, want me to bring more travel clientele their way. My services don't necessarily cost my travel client additional monies because the travel vendors pay my commissions. It's a job that I have loved doing now for years, gives me an opportunity to learn more about the world and all that it has to offer. I get to take advantage of some awesome discounts, and then of course get to make wonderful recommendations to my customers. So if you know of anybody who is traveling in the future, making some plans, wanting a package deal of air and destination and transportation all bundled into one, I would be more than happy to help. Again, my name is Dawn Evans Casey, and my company is Spa Travel. Any questions that I can help anyone with tonight?
You know what, Dawn? Real quick question. I joked around about the going to Hawaii on the same day or something, but are there, and you guys, I think we've all talked about it on here a few times, but are there good deals going on now to say somewhere like Hawaii, or is that like is that pretty expensive? And is it, what would you say? I mean, I'd like to go to Hawaii, but we've been there before and it was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
but I want to be realistic. What do you, can you give us a little bit of a smidgen of what you think the Hawaii trips look like right now?
Anybody can go anywhere
Okay. Oh,
in an
yeah.
affordable manner.
Okay.
The question is, what is what are your expectations? How long do you want to go? Where you want to stay? What types of things you want to do when you get there?
Okay.
So I just sit down with individuals, talk about an estimated budget, talk about the norms of pricing within the areas that they're going to. There are deals out there. Usually the furthest in advance you book, the better the pricing is. And there are some vendors that, of course, if the prices get better later, they will adjust the cost for you and give you that back as a bonus in value. So it all depends on what you're interested in. But travel is back. People are going places. I'd say that fuel costs have increased for airlines, and those airlines are passing those costs on to their customers. But there are still air bargains to be had. It just takes the looking and some flexibility in schedules sometimes to get those good bargains. If you have a favorite destination in Hawaii or a particular place, you want to go to this resort. I have vendor contacts that I can talk to get you the best available prices there. Sometimes they are good values, and sometimes it is a matter of a popular time, a popular location, and the cost is what it is. So we can talk a little bit more about that, but I would say yes, if you're interested in looking at something and you have a budget affordability level, that is best to communicate with your travel specialists upfront and let them work their magic from there.
Okay. Well, and that's exactly why you would talk to anybody, right? I mean, we were saying that about anything, whether it be, it makes sense. I guess we didn't travel much we didn't travel at all. I guess we did go to one. No, I don't even know if we did. So anyway, I don't think, and if we did, we drove. So, yeah. So it is good to know that there are people out there who know what they're doing, like you.
Yeah.
Leave it that where it is. We'll talk more. I know.
All righty. Well, before we go to our masterminding topic, I just wanted to mention there are Collaborating Connections members that are on our call tonight, and I want to quickly acknowledge them. We have CB Bjork, who is with Ascension Photography. So if you have any photography needs or drone photography needs, CB is your guy. We have Stacy Schamberger Smith with Tava Lifestyle Products. They are nutritional, energy, vitamin supplements, etc., to enhance your lifestyle. So if you're interested in health and wellness, check out Stacy Schamberger Smith and her Tava Lifestyle Products. And last but not least, we have our newest member, Melissa Johnson of Primerica. And she is a financial services coach. So if you are in need of got any questions or interested in, say, life insurance, investments, etc., Melissa is your great contact. Okay. So with that being said, talking about our masterminding topic, I came across this that I wanted to share with the group. It particularly resonated with me. And it came to me via email. I'm not sure, I don't have the email, who it came from on my source here, but it's called Don't Quit Your Day Job. Why I liked it was because, Collaborating Connections, specifically, we are the only TTR networking group that meets in the evening. And that's because quite a few of our members happen to have a 9-to-5 job, but are also cultivating an entrepreneurial endeavor in the evenings or during our off time. And here are the words. Don't quit your day job. When we think of someone who has achieved success, we like to imagine the individual who quits their day job, sells everything they own in order to move to a new city to pursue their passion. We love the story of the individual who goes all in on their passion so much that we have come to believe that this is the only way to achieve success. However, it is not. And in many situations, thinking this way can do more harm than good. In the book, Real Artists Don't Starve, best-selling author Jeff Goins explains a study done at the University of Wisconsin that demonstrated that this is not the best way to achieve success. In this study, the researchers wanted to find out whether or not business owners were more successful by staying at their day jobs or by leaving them. The study followed 5,000 American entrepreneurs who either went all in and quit their job to build their businesses, or who decided to keep their job while they worked on their businesses on the side. And what the researchers found was that the more cautious entrepreneurs ended up being the more successful ones, whereas the risk takers who quit their jobs early were 33% more likely to fail. The study shows that success isn't launched overnight. Instead, success happens gradually over time. So if you're thinking about quitting your day job to pursue your passion, don't. Instead, start pursuing your passion on the side by taking just one small step. Then take another, and then another. Sometimes it's not the big bets that pay off the most, but the small ones that build up over time. That was the story. I really liked it because I know I have been working a day job and cultivating my entrepreneurial passions with the travel and genealogy and chocolate blog. And I've been enjoying the way that I've chosen, the path that I've chosen to do it. And this resonated with me because now it gives me a little bit more confidence in my choice to go that way. And perhaps it is that confidence that you have financial sustenance to make sure your bills are paid and that your general needs are met while you're still pursuing the passion of the career, in the area that you really love. But I love doing both of them. So I really liked that little story that kind of supported that. I also came to look at a little bit more detail and realize that, people who balance family life and maybe like a corporate day job and then an entrepreneurial endeavor and other things, they're not only multitaskers, they're super taskers eventually. And the things that seem difficult initially to do that might cause somebody to kind of freeze up, stagnate, and like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Those super taskers just start finding ways to accomplish it all and do it seamlessly, effectively, manage the time, organize their lives, communicate effectively, putting on different hats during the day or throughout the week to manage all of those tasks. And I think that kind of feeds into the process that we've been talking about this month in masterminding with the 12-week year, learning to manage more effectively, focus, and reduce the time sequence to accomplish goals and be successful so that we can get things done, get it done effectively, acknowledge it, celebrate it, and then look forward to the next thing. So with that being said, I'm going to kind of open the floor to thoughts. What do you guys think about the don't quit your day job and managing a more effective schedule?
Nancy, come on.
I go from one to another. I bounced around, it's like, oh my God. Some days it's, I wonder why I do it, but I enjoy it. I really do. I like both of my jobs. And when you don't have to worry about those bills, you can be more aggressive on your passion, and you just have to find more time to get it put into the schedule because you like to help people. And it's like not having that pressure, all those years I worked in an office, you had to be there 40 hours a week, and I don't have that anymore. So, and I don't know if it's because of my age or I don't know. At this point in time, I'm probably the most happy I am with the careers that I've ever been because I've got both options there. And I think that makes a difference. I really do. If I could go back and tell myself 20 years ago, you need to get out of here, get out of this office because it's going to kill you. Because it's amazing. It's like, oh my God, just so different.
Right.
And things worked out for me, but a lot of people it didn't. But I just say, you have to keep going until you got a good combination. You might have to change careers in some cases. And you have to be willing to make changes to something that's doable. Because once you get there, it's not like work, Yes, I put in a lot of hours, but I don't mind it. I mean, I don't mind putting in the hours if I have success doing it, So that's it. You have to keep going. And if it doesn't work, modify and move on. Don't think doing the same thing, just like Einstein, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. It doesn't work. You have to change.
Absolutely. And I think that the 12-week year allows us that flexibility to recognize either when we've completed it or when we need change, when we need to change direction, implement some innovation, readjust the details, the parameters of the goal, the timing of it, or the execution of it, or using different resources to accomplish. And we get to acknowledge that sooner rather than later, so that becomes our norm, our process to be able to move on. People don't get stuck and stagnant in the rut of, this is the way it's supposed to go, and woe is me. And if it's not working out right now, well, let me give it another quarter and see if it changes. You don't get caught up in that type of thing.
Right. Very true. Very true.
You know what? It's really cool though, Nancy, because when Dawn was saying that, I was kind of like, I wonder if I could ask Nancy how she's enjoying all that she's doing. It's good to know that you enjoy what you're doing. Because I
Yep.
do know that you're working a number of things at the same time, right?
Yep.
Probably my biggest, probably, and there's still days now, and I shared that with both of you at different times. I mean, I know we've talked about, but anyway, the whole thing is, I know there were many times as I was starting to do this, have my music going on and having my car, the car, I mean, they're all, to me, they're all related. So it was, but I kept thinking, how do other people do this? And I don't know that there's anybody out there. They don't know how to do this. I mean, you're the one who, if it works for you, you can make it work. It's just, Nancy, you've got different things you're doing. I know Dawn says she loves everything she's doing. If you love it and it is paying the bills and it's fulfilling, you will figure out a way to do it, right? I mean, I remember so many people telling me, oh, you're going to have to, I think I've told you both this, but obviously not the recorded version, but you're going to have to choose one of those things. You can't do your music and networking and, and you can't do the send out cards. And I'm like, why? I mean, why can't I? They're all connected. Yeah, it's up to me to figure out how to fit it all in. Yes. But I remember I still have those moments where I'm like, okay, but now I feel, and like you said, Nancy, it's my age. I think now I've met enough people that I know that we're all doing our own thing, trying to figure out what works. It may not be, you may think, oh my gosh, I got the perfect job. If it makes you miserable,
Right.
I mean, or if it's, you're getting abused.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, so I guess that's probably why I keep trudging forward with TTR all the, feeling like there's other people out there that are doing what I'm doing, not doing what I'm doing, but we're all
Doing multiple things.
doing multiple things.
Yeah,
Yes.
that fulfill us.
That fulfill us. And, somebody telling me, those people that told me that, I'm not dealing with them anymore. I mean,
Good for you.
they weeded themselves out.
Well, yeah, because they're attempting to be a limiting influence from the outside. How do they know what you're capable of? How do they know what inspires you, what turns you on, what gets your energy going? They're just telling you, well, somebody could be in one doldrum job running themselves into the ground.
Yes, they could. Yeah.
Not productive, not positive. They could do that all by themselves in one job. But
Right.
It doesn't have to be that doing multiple things diminishes your productivity and your effectiveness. I think that was the mindset. You do one thing and you do it absolutely well. You do two things and you're doing both of them okay. Not necessarily. If
Right.
you develop your skills and your mindset to accommodate greatness in both of them, go ahead and be great at both of them. Knock yourself out.
Yeah. 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 And I,
Nowadays, though, how many people have multiple jobs? A lot of people do. They have no choice.
right. Yeah. So, yeah. And I think that's, what was it? Oh, there was something like that today. Somebody said that I was like, yeah, it's, I was listening to a training call earlier and, I think Jordan was saying something about how, oh gosh, I can't remember. Oh, that he's got it in his call. He said, when I started out, he's been network marketing for years, guys. And, but that's a whole industry in itself. But he was talking about when you first started, if you didn't have a physical concrete office, you weren't a legitimate business. Now, people everybody wants to have a home office. They want to be, because it's kind of a status kind of thing. You've got your own home office, and it was funny because I'm talking about Jordan Adler, who's been out there, doing, oh, he's got a story. But when he started saying, he goes, that's what it's been, he's been anyway. But I guess it was the same kind of thing. It's like, there was a day when you would say, oh, I do this and this, and, people be like, oh, jack of all trades, they can't do anything well. They got to do,
Jack of all trades, master of none.
There
Okay.
you
Maybe.
go. And I do understand, but I think that there's, and Nancy, I don't know what you do in your other job exactly with the metal stuff. I know you've done it for years.
But she's saying she didn't know either.
Oh, is that what she's saying?
I don't know. We can't hear you, Nancy.
I just changed to the other computer. Here's one computer, here's another computer.
Oh,
I do
is
the
that-
same thing then.
But there has to be some little thread of something that you enjoy in both of them that is this, it's kind of that same thing. You know what I mean? Kind of lights you up, you know what I mean? You said you love what you do. So even though it might be selling metal, I think there's
Yeah.
something that you like about it that gets, and it,
I'm doing
Anyway.
it 20 years, 20 years selling metal. I know what it does. I know what it can do. I can tell people, you're not going to work. It's not going to do it. They won't listen because they're usually engineers, and engineers don't listen to anybody to tell them.
yeah.
But yeah, 20 years experience in one. And then I like it because of that, because I know where it's coming from, and they come up with these ideas every few years. The same ideas show up. No, it won't work, but we'll sell you this metal, but it won't work.
Yeah, but you maybe it is, maybe it's, you said it was your age or whatever, but maybe it's the fact that you've got a lot of experience and that your product. And a couple of years ago you were talking about the Medicare and stuff, and I know you were probably a little frustrated because you got maybe one or two sales, but now I don't know how many you have now, but we're all in that boat. I think there's always a learning curve, right? There's always that. So, but you have to, you have to give it a little bit of time to figure out what it is you're doing. And then if you still are miserable, then then it's obviously not meant for you. But you said you love both your jobs. So I guess and I know Dawn loves what she does. If you don't love it, life is too short to be wasting it. I know you've been doing the metal for 20 years. You said that, but there's something about it that you must have felt fairly confident. Did you share with me that's basically a man's industry, right? Isn't it you're kind of unusual, but
there's a lot. You'd be surprised how many women are in it. Do you know that business up in Noblesville, SMC or something?
Yes.
There's a woman in charge over there.
No.
At the top of it. It's like, and she's not old. She's not my age. She's not your age. She's young. She's probably 30 or 40, and she's in charge. It's like, oh my God. In our lifetime, we've seen women go into those glass ceiling offices, and it's like, I was just looking at her. Oh my God. I was in shock when I met her. But she's young, and she's running the show. And it's like, I would have never thought I would have seen that after all those years, because I started in customer service, and I remember getting calls, and I remember putting them on hold because they want to talk to a man. That's what they used to say. I want to talk to a man.
Well, maybe getting through all of that. That's what you love about it. You have proven yourself that you are able to do and talk to, you're able to hold your own with any of the men that, because I remember you talking about that a number of years ago, and I don't know why it stuck out, but that is, I give you a lot of credit for doing, and to say you love what you're doing. It, not that what you're doing isn't great. I'm just saying that is I have no idea how to sell metal. I would not have a clue. But you've done, you've done it, and that's part of, don't you think that is part of, just when you can do it? I mean, when you start out and you know what I mean? Even if it's not something that's exciting, like, I don't know, selling metal sounds kind of boring, but you know all the stuff about it. So I'm happy to hear that, because you had not, I don't think, and it had come up before. I know Dawn loves what she does. I know most of the people in our network, I think, enjoy what they do, even if it is selling insurance or something. Sorry, Nancy, but you know what I mean? Most people do at our age, maybe, I don't know, or that are in our network too, or that are out networking, whether they're in our network or not. That may not be the, that may not be the, but if they're at our age, I'm probably the oldest in the group here, but if they're at our age and they're, maybe, I don't know, Nancy, you don't have to, but if they're at our age and they're networking, they're doing something they enjoy, or there's something that they feel they're very confident, you know what I mean? Or
Not
something.
necessarily, or they can't afford to retire.
Well, and that's a
That
possibility.
could be too.
There's a big,
Yeah.
there's a big, when you're out networking some of these people and they're all baby boomers, it's like, oh my God.
Well, and I guess what I'm thinking, although you said it earlier, somebody could go to McDonald's and work or something if they just couldn't afford to retire. I guess what I'm thinking is somebody who's building something, maybe their own business, or, independent agent of some sort or whatever, there's got to be there's a drive there that isn't found with, people who go to McDonald's. Or to do, you know what I mean? I mean, you've got to be really driven to do some, I don't know.
You have to, I mean, if you need the money, McDonald's is a guaranteed, you're going to walk off with your, whatever they pay an hour.
Right.
While if it's something you're out networking, I mean, if you're not selling,
right.
you're not getting paid. So, I mean, it depends if they can or not. I mean, it comes down to that. Depends
Right.
how desperate they are for funds.
And I guess I would think somebody who's doing, and, we all run into them in, at the business spotlight or whatever, and you're looking at them and you're like, they are driven. They are, I mean, there's a difference there. And somebody who just needs to make enough money to pay their car payment or something, they might just go to McDonald's and work hours and hours and do it and not care. I'm just saying, there is something, you're a different animal, or you're a different breed or something when you're trying to build your own business. I think probably the hardest thing for me would be when somebody would say to me, and I did it for a while, you got to sell insurance until you can afford to do your TTR networking or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was miserable. I can't do, you know what I mean? I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for people. I don't have to, I do need to make money, but Philip does make money. So I'm not, and we've made it this far pretty comfortably.
I can imagine,
Go ahead.
a day when I, retire from my day job, my 9 to 5. But I can imagine doing my travel and my blog and my genealogy until I drop dead.
Right. Exactly.
The things that I love,
Yeah.
I don't imagine retiring from.
See, I've never, I just cannot, I don't know what it's like to not be driven to find the next singing opportunity. I don't know where, I mean, and that's, but anyway, you ladies understand that, I guess, and I'm just glad to hear that Nancy enjoys what she does in her metal sales. I mean, it's important to know that, it's it makes me feel good that she's getting to do fun stuff. And then she's part of our network too. Wow.
And
Cool.
I don't know if we've ever talked about it, Nancy. I think I knew that you were in the metal sales when I used to work at Ryobi Die Casting in Shelbyville. And, you know, okay, we got the metal thing in common too, because, oh my. And that's what happens through networking, chit chatting and finding those connections that you would never imagine, you know, might come up in general conversation, but it's like, wow, cool. We're more alike than we are different. Most people have more in common that they have different. And
Yes.
just talking, interacting, sharing ideas, sharing life experiences really takes us down that path of relationship building, understanding, and just being able to engage with each other and stay connected. So that's why we encourage what we do. That's why we continue to meet on a weekly basis, to talk to each other, to encourage the one-on-ones and relationship building, and for all of us to find success, all of us be able to thrive. So I want to thank you ladies again for another wonderful meeting. Really enjoyed the conversation tonight. And I want to make sure to share the message with anybody who may be listening to the recording. Networking is so much more than just passing the business cards. So please get up, get involved, reach out to us, come visit at no charge to share a little bit about yourself and your business and grow your connections. I hope that everybody has a wonderfully prosperous rest of the week, and I'll look forward to seeing you again next Tuesday night. Take care.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
ladies.
Bye.
Good night, everybody. Be safe.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.